Finally ready to record. So I bid you a fond hello. It's cute how the I want to call her the Maiden in Black, Firekeeper. Cool how the Firekeeper kind of mimics you there. It's cute. Nice little detail. I like that. Anyway, been trying to record this all day. Like, I need absolute quiet in order to record. My microphone picks up everything in the background. And I've been waiting all day to record this. Finally ready to sit down, hit the record button, and the damn dog starts eating in the kitchen, just chewing away. Literally sounded like I was mowing kibble and recording this. But anyway, we're here now, and we're recording, so. I already talked to that guy before, so I cut him short. But I don't believe I talked to anybody else. So, I talked to her first. The Firekeeper. She asked me to do something that I already did. This is pretty much her dialogue for, like, I don't know, as far as I've gotten in the game. In my non-recording sessions, I've gotten up to, I think, the third and fourth areas. And up to that point, her dialogue doesn't change. Stays the same pretty much the whole time. So she's kind of a dry character. I really don't know how I feel about the Firekeeper. I keep on getting caught up because, like, I look at her and I want to call her the Maiden in Black. She might as well have her eyes obscured by wax. I mean, she's the Maiden in Black. She's not the Maiden in Black. As Epic Name Bro would put it, the not Maiden in Black. Kind of tiptoeing around calling her that because I don't want to ape his style. Even though I have the feeling I'm going to do that anyway. So what am I doing here? I am allocating level points. The hell did I just do? I wasn't even paying attention. Put them in somewhere. Obviously, if you guys haven't noticed already, I'm recording this post-commentary. I had to delete my in-game commentary because I didn't like the way it came out. I didn't record it properly. Which is becoming a theme as I work things out on my end. I'm getting better at it, though.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the flame.
And we are done with her. So done with her. And we're on to talk to the retired the Shrine Handmaiden. Yeah. You will lose your souls. Over and over and over again.
Little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler.
Wait, that's not what she said?
And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable.
I'm being salty about it. But no, I like this character. I like the way she looks. I like the function that she serves. I don't mind that that her general design is borrowed from Dark Souls 2. I mean, if you're gonna enjoy this game, you kind of have to reconcile that fact. A lot of stuff is brought back. A lot of stuff is played for nostalgic value. I'm okay with it. I recognize it and I see it, and that irks me somewhat. But I'm not as critical as some would tend to be about things like that. I notice it, but I'm pretty forgiving of it, and I see what they're trying to do. I get it. And I fucking like these games, and I like these characters, so, you know, what the hell. weighing out whether or not I wanted or needed that heal. I think I already have it. I think that's a heal aid that I have. I kind of want a regular heal, a standard heal. My non-recording build is a cleric, so I have the regular heal in my other game. Guess that's all I wanted. Please excuse the gulping and sipping noises, I'm thirsty. It's just me checking what I have, seeing if I want anything. And I'm going back into the purchase menu because I don't care about the viewer's time, apparently. It's another thing about recording post-commentary. I don't even... How do I expect someone else to watch this? I'm getting irritated with myself. Like, move it along, dude. Move it along. Like, what are you doing? Do you want to buy the firebomb? Then buy the fucking firebomb. No? You don't? You gonna sell something? No? Nope. Jesus, me from yesterday is very indecisive. Hey, I bought something.
If my wares are not to thy satis, bring me umbral ash. With ash, I'll fashion new wares. Is it not our sorry fate to sup on death?
I like the way that this mechanic works. Instead of having multiple NPCs like scattered about the game world that you can go see for new equipment, and you know you gotta kind of remember who has what. You just bring your current NPCs back at the shrine. They're pretty much all there so far that I've noticed. Pretty much all of them end up back here, and the way that you get new items is by giving them something you found out in the world, and then that updates their stock. I like that way of doing it. It's a lot less to keep straight. Especially if you're not trying to spoil yourself with a guide, or if you don't want to constantly have your phone open to look up who has what. It's just easier, more streamlined, which is pretty much what this game does best over all the rest of the games, and in my opinion is just like it looks better and it's more accessible. Some people would call that a fault, but different strokes for different folks, I guess. Again, I think I'm just going to fuck off in menus for a few minutes and not really accomplish anything. I don't even think there's anything I can do here. I don't really have many upgrade materials at the moment. I guess I'm just kind of getting familiar with the layout here. Considering, feeling forlorn that I can't make a fire-infused broken straight sword. Forlorn the right word? No. No, probably not. I don't have days to feel nostalgic for where I was rolling off broken straight sword. That's a challenge run that I never attempted. I think that's a challenge run that's out there. No bonfire run, broken straight sword run. That sounds appropriately what do you call it? Self-destructive? Masochistic, that's it. That's the word I'm looking for. appropriately masochistic. Beyond the standard for the player base for these games. For those who really like the feeling of a heavy weight dropped on your nuts.
Protection is sturdy enough by and large, but when overused, they'll eventually break. When their durability is
Andre again,
necessity,
kind of blacksmith here. Andre saddled with the
at a bonfire should chance impel them.
the responsibility of
I'll hammer
dumping
shape,
all of the expository dialogue on you and
breaking, I assure ye. So handle
explaining the mechanics of your weapons, how to reinforce, infuse, repair them, all that and such. I like this NPC, but he definitely has a very unenviable task. His function is not the greatest. In terms of dialogue, at least.
there are two ways to smith weapons. Simple reinforcement.
And is Andres the only NPC whose mouth moves? I cannot recall another NPC in these games whose mouth
Strengthens a weapon
moves.
without altering its property. Infusion is a more advanced form of smithing that infuses an element.
All the rest of them are very skilled ventriloquists, but
And infusion
old Andre,
requires gems. Bring the stones, and
he's
I'll do the
flapping
smithing.
at the gums, something
Purpose
fierce.
after all. In battle, your weapons are your only friends. Forge them well, and they won't let you down.
Get a room with your hammer, you weirdo. It's sick. It's a sick obsession with the weapons, man. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna stand here
Another matter.
and
Infusing
watch his
weapons with
veiny
gems requires a
muscles
special
glisten.
coal. My humble coals won't be any use infusing more unusual gems. I know, it's an awful shame, but it's all I have.
My character just likes to stand over Andre and watch him hammer away at metal, watching the sweat just roll and glisten down his rippled and burnt, like charred flesh.
Be careful. I don't want to see my work squandered.
I'm a sodomite. My character hails from Sodom. Now, instead of just standing around staring at NPCs, I'm going to run around aimlessly. Ah, Ludleth of Corland.
All that unkindled, and a seeker of lords. I am Ludleth of Corland. Look not in bewilderment.
The extra crispy Ludleth of Corland.
The fire long ago.
Well
became
done.
mold of cinder. If substantiation be thy want, set thine eyes upon my child corpse. This sad
He looks like that guy in the waiting room
have a closer look.
that's talking to Alec Baldwin in Beetlejuice. You know, the guy who's smoking cigarettes. He offers Alec Baldwin a cigarette, and it's funny because he's all burnt up. Probably fell asleep with a smoke in his hand. And then he goes, "You want a cigarette?" And Alec Baldwin's like, no, thank you. And dude goes, yeah, these things will kill ya. Ha ha! Ah, that's great. It's a gas.
Take 5 lords as kindling for the linking of the fire. The fast fading flame must be licked to preserve this world.
Notice Ludwig doesn't have any legs.
A reenactment of the first
I
linking of
feel like that's probably important, considering he's the only Lord of Cinder that hasn't left his throne.
Cinder. I may be but small.
I'm assuming that's because he doesn't have the faculties to leave his throne. Like, he'd have to be carried out, so he just kind of stayed behind. Maybe he's biding his time for something. I don't know.
Knowest thou of our purpose?
Suppose we'll figure it out later.
Thrones will take 5 law, the fast fate, a reenactment. Oh, so it is. I may be.
That's all we got from this guy.
Now, do not be away over long.
What am I doing? I assume I'm probably pausing to give myself time to talk. And I'm not doing a good job of any of it. Yeah, I still gotta iron out a good way to record these. I haven't really decided whether I want to record commentary after I play. I don't really like that because half the time I question, why the hell I'm doing what in the game. Because I don't really remember what I was thinking at the time. And then if I record commentary while I'm playing, that's a whole different set of issues because I'm not too good at dividing my attention in such a way that I can play games and, make interesting commentary at the same time, but I'd rather do that. I'll probably try to do it that way. Eventually I'll get it, right? You'd think. Figured I'd try this jump a couple of times. I assumed you could make this jump just looking at, the design of the area here. The way that tree is and the way, the height of that ledge, very obviously, if you're familiar with FromSoft's games, that's a very obvious jump that you can make with a little bit of a little extra effort. I have subsequently seen German Spy make that jump, so that was very validating. Felt good to be able to pick that out on my own and be like, oh yeah, you can jump that. Also, like Spy pointed out, it also made me feel a little bit sad. Because maybe I spend a little bit too much time playing these games. It's a sick obsession. This is the only game I play now. Yeah, I decided to screw with that guy. Just kind of piss him off and then run away. I don't really want to fight him, not at this stage. There's no way with the amount of health that I have and the equipment that I'm wielding, there's no way that I'd be able to successfully dance around that guy enough to hit a few backstabs on him. My kick is not reliable enough for a guy that can outright just parry you and kill you in one blow. So I'm not going to screw with that guy for now. As you can see, I've already moved on to the next area, so it's kind of obvious. So we've arrived at the High Wall of Lothric. We are in a cool chamber with some gargoyles and tapestries and I guess chandeliers, but old school chandeliers that are just pyres hanging from the ceiling on chains. Metal. Fucking metal. This whole area is fucking metal. This is what I always imagined when I listened to King Diamond. I always imagined King Diamond came from a place in time not much unlike Lothric here. Just getting a gander around. It feels like FromSoft was finally able to do what they wanted to do with this game. Like in terms of like the background, like everything that you see in the background is all. It's no longer like just a good-looking JPEG image. It's actually low-res models of a lot of these areas that you see off in the distance. And as with in the past, pretty much everything you see is a place that you can go. And when you look around at some of the places, when you really like, you know, pan around and get a good look at all these areas below these castle walls here, like it's pretty exciting to look around and be like, yeah, eventually I'm gonna go there. Pretty neat. When I first came through this area, it kicked my ass. Like, I don't know how some other people felt playing this on the first time, like other veteran players, but I had some trouble adjusting. This is my second playthrough of this area, so I've got it down pretty good. But some of these earlier enemies are pretty strong, and their support, like these dogs, you know, they're to distract you and, you know, put some pressure on you. And then you take them out, and you get up to these dudes, and you're just like, oh, well, if this is anything like the Undead Burg from DS1, these guys are, you know, nothing. Chumps. But, as you will soon, maybe you'll see, I don't know if any of these guys get a hit on me, but they hit fucking hard. They're playing for keeps. Yeah, I'm making it look easy here, but my first trip through here, it went a little bit different. Yeah, he does that. Like, oh, there you go. Yeah, they make you pay. They make you pay for mistakes. Like, unless you put them down quick, they give you a little bit of trouble. Yeah. Yep. They're fucking me up. Spend enough time screwing with one of them, the other one comes along. So, it's not too difficult. I mean, once you get used to their move sets and, you know, the enemy placements, it's not too bad. Like, you can take on two of them. But it's appropriately difficult, I feel. I would definitely feel bad for a first-time Souls player starting with this area. Even as far removed as I am from being a novice Souls player, like, I can see this place being a bit tricky. I mean, shit, the first time I played Souls, I started with Dark Souls 1, and the first thing I fucking did was, after just ditching on... did I beat the Asylum boss? I must have. I don't know if you can advance without beating him. So yeah, I must have beat him, but I know I had to look up, I had to cheat. I looked up how to do it and stayed behind him and stabbed him in the ass 20 times. I think, yeah, I got a drop. a drop attack on him, and then I just stayed behind him. Pretty easy. But I got to that first area, went into the graveyard, and then just got ass fucked by skeletons. Like, yeah, I gave up on that after like 3 trips down there. And I was like, well, I don't know where to go. It's not holding my hand enough, so I'm out. So I bounced right off of it. And that guy turns into a giant, festering black goo snakehead if you don't take care of him right away. So I tried to, I just made a beeline for him right away. Otherwise, he basically turns into like a smaller, less imposing version of Udex Gundyr, the boss from the Cemetery of Ash. Not much easier than him, but like, you can take him out before he pops, so that makes it a lot easier. But once he actually does turn into that snake, he's a pretty sizable threat. And I'm just fucking around here. I don't even know if I got souls from those non-combative enemies. Look at that guy. Splayed out. Looks like he was partying too hard. He should have a beer in his right hand. Like he's passed out on the pavement. Got invited to a kegger on the high wall. Couldn't hold his liquor. Not speaking from personal experience or anything. Due to short-term memory failure, I could not remember if I had been down here. Realized I had after seeing a dead body. Couldn't let it be. I just couldn't let it be. I've got anger issues. I'm working it out. As you can see. I kill people in video games, so something doesn't happen. Otherwise, something might happen. I get angry with coworkers. I shouldn't talk about this. Can YouTube videos be used in court? I don't know what the point of purple summon signs are. This is a mad phantom. Do you want to summon it? I've been avoiding looking up what things do because I want to figure it out for myself. And then I'm always too big of a pussy to figure it out myself, so it just remains an unknown. Too big of a pussy, and I don't want to spoil it, so what do? Just look at it. Friend. Okay. Sure. Yeah, buddy. I bet you're real friendly. That's almost 2 on the nose. His intentions can't be good. Gotta take this guy out right away, or else that lantern works as some sort of, like, beacon. Sets off all of the, couple of the non-hostiles that are kneeling or leaning up against a wall. And I decided to speed this up because, yeah. Just sorting it out. Some stuff I gotta sort out. Yeah. I feel a lot better. Have I told you guys about Tony? The little boy that lives in my mouth? Well, I'll talk about him later. He ran away to my stomach. Can always do with fire bombs. Can never have enough fire bombs. Yeah, I got the kick, but I didn't follow up in time. Yep. Took a drink of the wrong flask, and that cost me. So, first death of the playthrough. First of many, I'm sure. And what was I doing there? I'm not sure why I did that. So we'll try this again. And if you don't get that guy in time, this is what happens. More of them come at you. Could have sworn there was another one that pops when that happens. Is it this guy? I don't know. Could have sworn there was a guy up on the... There's a guy leaning up against the wall. I don't see him. I don't know. Maybe not. And this one I get in time. Wasn't having none of his tricks. And a whiff. Duck one. Really need to work on that kick. Getting a reliable kick in these games is a time saver, and you don't eat as many hits. This dragon doesn't look like it's dead. I always feel like it's gonna come to life just from the color and the texture. Like, it doesn't look quite dead. Like, it looks like it should be alive. Definitely like this build, the Herald build. I like it a lot. My main game I'm running with a cleric. I kind of wish I would have picked the Herald instead. I just like the way that the points are initially allocated a lot better. I suppose I'm already halfway through the game as the cleric already, so it doesn't really matter at this point, but I feel like I would have enjoyed the early game a little bit had I not been kind of regretful about the fact that I'd chosen the wrong stats and started with equipment that I didn't care for. I fucking hate that mace that the cleric starts with. I don't like the mace. I don't like the reach on it for early game. It just doesn't do me well. Yeah, I keep wanting something to happen with this damn dragon. So I just fuck up his arches. That'll piss him off. It's a cool looking claw. Gold pine resin. That's save that for later. Stick in my pocket for a rainy day. Definitely getting good at the backstabs. At first I thought this game was like a little harder to get backstabs on base enemies, but after playing it, not really. It's pretty much the same, just as easy as ever. With some weapons, it looks real goofy. I don't know. When I was using the mace on my other character, like, it seemed like I was getting backstabs really when I shouldn't have. Like, they were spinning halfway around and, like, moving, like, a few inches to get, you know, in line for that move. So maybe it's easier in this game? I don't know. Could be. It's hard to say when you've played, you know, 5 games back to back with, you know, nearly the same style. At some point, you just kind of become a nitpicker. Like this guy, I'm having trouble backstabbing. Really making this harder than it has to be. Distance was a little weird on that. And now I have pissed off the entire party. So if I would have headed up the stairs, I would have had a very obvious tactical advantage, but no, instead I decided to take a drink of the wrong flask and eaten it again. Same issue. So I gotta remember, use the right Estus flask. And if you hold down on the D-pad, it automatically goes to the first item in your tool belt. Wait, your tool belt? Your whatever that thing is called. Not your tool belt, the, whatever the inventory is. But yeah. Your assistance items, you just hold down on the D-pad and it automatically brings up the first thing. I know this, so I should definitely be more aware of it when playing. And for your viewing pleasure, I have sped that up. There we go. Much smoother. And here I decide to use the obvious tactical advantage of Dragon! That's metal. That's my favorite dragon intro in the entire series. Like, that is some cool shit. And it's got a tactical advantage. It doesn't just... the dragon's not simply there to fuck you over. Like, not... In Dark Souls 1, that dragon on the bridge, like, yeah, he kills, the enemies. Sure. But you don't really need to go that way. And so you're not going to get any of those items anyway. It's just a hassle. At least this one, like, easily circumvented. You know, not too much of a pain in the ass. And he helps you. But he definitely is guarding some things. That if you go up top there, it would, you know, do you well to get them. I couldn't tell you what they are, because I still haven't gone there. I've yet to fuck with that dragon for real. These guys gave me a lot of trouble on my first run through. I'm glad that you guys aren't watching that playthrough. I didn't decide to make that playthrough. Like, I wanted to get my first impressions down on camera, but, you know, after playing this first area for a couple hours, it was pretty clear that that would not have been viewer friendly. And I would not have had the time or the ambition to edit that shit. Just being honest. I probably could be a tool and say, oh, first time. I'm just that good. I'm really not. Mediocre. That's about as much credit as I can give myself. But still give me some credit. Hey, I could be making Call of Duty videos. But I'm not an asshole. Actually, I am an asshole. I'm what you'd call a gaming elitist. If it ain't Dark Souls, it ain't shit. I fucking own a custom Dark Souls t-shirt, for Christ's sakes. I have a bonfire keychain. And I've got half a mind to get a Dark Souls tattoo. Not just a tattoo either, like... I'm kind of considering dedicating an entire arm to it. I've got an art book, I've got some things picked. It's a work in progress. Don't judge me. Fuck you. You have a barbed wire armband. Who are you to judge? Fuck you. Titanite shard. I wonder if that's the first upgrade material I've picked up. I think it is. I don't think I can do an upgrade yet though. Upgrade materials in this game so far, pretty scarce. For a majority of the early game, there is no NPC that sells them. So, well, that just about does it. That's all I got. This video is going to end in a few seconds here, so... feel free to, you know, leave a comment or, you know, tell me how I'm doing. Make some suggestions. What do you like? What do you not like? What do you want to see? Do you like my style of doing things? Would you rather it be post or non-post commentary? You know, just, I don't know, say something. I'd like some feedback. Or even if you just watch 2 minutes of it, you know, just leave a comment saying fuck you. I mean, I don't know. Any attention's good attention, right? I used to be a class clown, so whatever. Here I'm just attempting to do the waving sign, but my 6-axis is broken, so you just get a bunch of weird shit. Anyway, that's it for me. Take care. And I'm out of here. Yep. Nope, still trying it. Nope. Take it easy, guys.